Borak Thung, Earthlets, and welcome to the 2080 YouTube channel. Now, you've heard the announcement that there's going to be a Judge Dredd Mega City 1 TV series, which we're very excited about, aren't we, Keith?
Great. So brilliant. I can't wait for that.
But if you've never read any Judge Dredd, then you've basically got 2 years before Mega City 1 hits the screens to bone up on some classic Dredd, to really read up on the fantastic stories. And you know, with 40 years of Judge Dredd, it's quite a lot to sink your teeth into. The point of this video is that we are going to give you some of our recommendations about where you should start reading if you want a background in Dredd ahead of the launch of Judge Dredd Mega City 1. So first up is Judge Dredd Case Files #1, which comes in this lovely thick edition, which is available from all good bookstores. Now, this is really starting at the beginning, isn't it, Keith?
This is it, yeah, from 1977. First appearance of Judge Dredd. All the classic artists that we know and love now, all the best writers, John Wagner, Pat Mills, they're all in this one edition. This is great. This is a perfect place to start. Case Files 5.
Case Files #5. We recommend this one because of basically what's in it. You've got the Apocalypse War.
The Apocalypse War and Death Lives.
There, Death Lives, the introduction of Judge Death. Now, if you ever talk to a Judge Dredd fan, then they will wax lyrical about the undead super fiend from another dimension where all life is a crime.
Very true. And of course, it's got some of the greatest artwork, probably some of the best loved panels in British comics with the I was going to say infamous, but it's the famous Gaze into the Fist of Dread. Yeah. A beautiful panel, and Carlos's work on the Apocalypse War is nothing short of breathtaking. It's probably my favourite of the Case Files. They're all great, but this has got to be #1.
In Dredd's over-the-top world, of course, the terrorists are going to be pro-democracy activists. And one of the greatest moments in Judge Dredd is Judge Dredd America, which is available on both sides of the Atlantic. And if you want to get an idea of the politics of the history that underpins a lot of the modern Judge Dredd stuff,
this is the book to read. Yeah, very, very relevant in today's world, actually.
It's the story of this woman called America Yara, who is a pro-democracy terrorist, and it's about her, it's about the men in her life and the way that they manipulate her in many ways.
And it's seen from an ordinary citizen's point of view, how they view the justice system, and it's very different to how we'd seen it previously in issues of 2000 AD.
Yeah, Dredd was always still very much a hero, even when he was doing terrible things. But this really began the modern phase of Judge Dredd, where the question of whether Dredd is good or bad, or whether you support him or not, really came to the fore. It took more than 30 years before Judge Dredd's creator John Wagner, along with co-creator Carl Square, went back to the origin of Judge Dredd's world. So if you're looking for a volume that fills you in on how Dredd's world came to be, then Judge Dredd Origins is the one for you. I mean, this is intense storytelling, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah, it's really cool.
And it's certainly very, very relevant in today's political climate. You've got basically the story of Bad Bob Booth, the last president of the United States, very gung-ho, very jingoistic, and the coup d'etat by the judges.
Indeed, and there's some beautiful flashback panels of Kiddie Dredd going around kicking ass and taking names. Brilliant.
With his twin brother, of course.
His twin brother.
Yep. Now, we talked a little bit about the Apocalypse War and the ramifications ongoing in Judge Dredd's world, and that was never truer than in the Day of Chaos. Now, this is the first volume of the Day of Chaos, fourth faction, where John Wagner just tears the entire world down, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just thought at some stage John Wagner's going to run out of telling classic stories. This is really recent. It's one of my favourites. The perfect follow-up to the Apocalypse War. Years and years in the making, and it's masterfully executed. It's just one of my all-time faves. Some gorgeous artwork in there as well. See what happens when you mess with the East Megas. They don't take stuff lying down, man. They come back, and Dredd doesn't necessarily win this one, but it's worth checking out. It's brilliant.
And if you're looking forward to Judge Dredd Mega City 1, then undoubtedly you are a fan of the 2012 Dredd movie starring Carl Urban and Olivia Thirlby. And we have comics for you as well. We have a collection of movie-inspired stories, Urban Warfare, along with the new collection, Dredd Anderson, The Deep End. Now, this is obviously a slightly different take on Judge Dredd.
Slightly different. Yeah, it's more of a real-world aesthetic aesthetic than comic book Dredd, but just as entertaining nonetheless. And it's mainly a lot of the new creators involved in this universe, and they've all done a sterling job. Alec Worley's Anderson story is great.
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed
yeah.
it. And got some lovely Ben Molcher artwork, and of course Henry Flint, who everyone loves.
Well, thanks very much for joining us on this brief introduction to the world of Judge Dredd. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more recommendations from the world of Judge Dredd and 2000 AD, and looking forward to how Judge Dredd Mega City 1 turns out.
If it's not Dredd, it's not meant to be read.